The top dogs in the Nova Scotia U15 or U16 AAA Hockey League set off this morning, packed the bus, and headed out for the Annapolis Valley. The St. John Vitos and Valley Wildcats are set to get underway here from the Kings Mutual Century Center. My name's Dayton Camo saying welcome inside the Apple Dome from Berwick. And we're just about underway for this U16 AAA matchup between the top dogs, the St. John Vitos and the Valley Wildcats. We'll take a look at the league standings quickly before we get into this one. The Vitos sitting top with 33 points, and the Wildcats on the other end of the spectrum with 8 points on the season, but both teams looking to get a couple more here today. As we go back to center ice, we'll await the face-off from the referee. And we're just about set. This face-off's won by the Vitos. It's Max McKinnon picking this one up, sends it across to Noah Cormier. Now the shot from the point goes off the pad of Malia. The starting goalies tonight for the visiting St. John Vitos, it'll be Sam Malia. And on the other end of the ice, Jaron Maxwell getting the start, giving some rest to Owen Whittier, who has gotten the call-up tonight for the U18 Wildcats as they take on the Marchand Milko Hunters. Whittier, along with Zach Banks, will be playing for the U18s tonight. This one's played in low for Stoddard, but O'Toole able to come in and take control. Now Shanks will play one from the blue line into a shin pad. Shanks takes a bump there from Gosling. And O'Toole Wilson will send a bump down there into Pearl. This one has the effect of a bumpy one. These two teams met a couple of weekends ago, just about 3 weeks ago, in the Harbor City, with the Vitos victorious in that one. A long stretch pass intended for the captain, Livingstone. That one's out of his reach. Now Gosling behind the net. He's got a man on him. Cooling plays one out front. It gets back to the point. Bellier down low to Cooling. Gets back out to the point. This one's chipped off the wall. Sent back to the point. Bellier plays it across. And it's lifted in deep by Sutter McQuaid as he takes a bump. This one's up into the netting. We'll get a stoppage of play. The first whistle here in this one. So the Vitos here in Berwick today. They'll take a stop back in Bedford tomorrow before heading back to St. John. They'll meet with the Armada before meeting again with the Armada in the first game of the Ice Jam. Off the draw, it's one to the side, and Livingstone will send one up into the netting. So this top line with a little bit different look as Luke Bellier slots in with Case and Cooling and Trip Livingstone. As this puck gets past Jake Arbo, out to play it comes Malia. McQuaid goes up the wall, back out to neutral ice. It's picked up and sent to some clear space. Braden Nickerson and Jake Arbo run into each other down there. And now it's sent back out to center. Nickerson's got it. He's worked in offside. And now McKinnon grabs and starts the breakout. Max McKinnon leads all defensemen in scoring in this Nova Scotia U16 AAA League. He's got 6 goals, 12 assists for 18 points. This one's chipped up onto the wall, hit a skate rather, coming off the bench. McKinnon will send a long stretch pass up ahead. That one intended for Greeley, but it's out of his reach. McKinnon looked to take the body there, but elected not to as Cormier goes back for this one. Noah Cormier chips it, skates down the near side. Now Cormier grabs one. That one's off the short side. Now back to the point. Cormier looking to get a piece of Caleb Howard coming out. Howard jumping right off the U15 game against the Rangers that they just finished. The U15 Wildcats just finished up a game beating the Rangers Hockey Club 6-3. And now a couple of Wildcats. Looks like Austin Robichaud out there playing defense right now for the U16 Wildcats. Or now he's working up into a forward position. But either way, Caleb Howard and Austin Robichaud up with these U16s. As Madden Blandon picks it up, goes to center, taken away, and chipped up to Grayson Shanks, but it's out of his reach. Back down the ice, Cohen Pearls on that one. Now up the wall. Here goes Kaysen Cooling. Working in, Cooling. That one's over the net. That's a top point scorer in this Nova Scotia U16 AAA league, Kaysen Cooling. 40 points so far in this one. In the 25-26 campaign for Cooling. Trip Livingstone not far behind him. Like to take this moment and say hello and welcome into the parents back over in St. John that didn't make the trip over. The team bust out this morning. Now O'Toole will stop up, little nifty move with the foot. Drops, and they score. Alexander Dagla walks into the open ice and rips one upstairs on Jaron Maxwell. And the Vitos have got the party started early here in Berwick. Now off the draw, Ringette control, so go up the wall, and this one's going to be no. The linesman waving it off. The head linesman called it an ice. Looks like we'll go back to center ice. 14:35 to go here in the opening frame. 3-2, the shots are in favor of the Wildcats. This one's one ahead. McQuaid will pound that one into the offensive zone. Now work back out. McQuaid will send it through to center. And a little bump at center ice will cause a turnover. Back into Vito's possession. McQuaid goes cross ice to Wilson. Now Wilson working in. He's going to rip one, and that's gloved on by Maxwell. With 14:02 to go. So a face-off will come in the defensive zone for the Wildcats. And folks, right after this one, 7 o'clock local time, the U18 Valley Wildcats will welcome in the March and Melco Hunters. So this is the second part of a Wildcats triple header here on High Button Sports. Back to the point now, Cormier. Now a chance away, Blandon trying to work one through the slot. Taken away, Pearl almost had that one, but it's the Vitos away with numbers. McKinnon working in, drops back door. And Cormier just almost able to pound that one home on the back door, but a little too much passing coming in. The Vitos are working back into the defensive zone. That shot from Pearl goes around the net and around the wall. Pearl will chip it back in as Grayson Shanks picks it up. Up to McKinnon. Now a shot goes in from Livingstone. The rebound pops out. They score. We'll see who leads the flyby. It looks like it could be Daigle again. We'll wait for the official goal call on that one. Now a penalty coming. Also Taylor Pearson with that one. So Taylor Pearson gets the Vitos up by 2, and a penalty coming here to the Wildcats. So this Vitos power play will go back to work, and they'll send out their top line. Max McKinnon and Kaysen Cooling will man the points with Cameron Wilson, Trip Livingstone, and Alexander Daigle up top. Braden Nickerson comes in to take the draw. He lets it go back to the point. Cooling across to Livingstone. He'll spin off the check of Troop. Works in. He's pushed into the net. He runs into Maxwell. Gives a little tap to Maxwell. Make sure he's all good. Now Wilson. Works up below McKinnon. Now Livingstone trying to make a move on the far side on Ringette. Ringette able to hold him off. Now it gets to McKinnon. Back to the point. He spins back, throws a backhander down the far side. Now Wilson looking for an option. Finds Cooling on the back door, and it just slips past him. And McKinnon's got to get there first. Ketty was giving some speed on that chase, but he ended up tumbling, allowing Cooling to pick it back up. He'll make a move, working in, drops it for McKinnon. Goes across to Livingstone. Livingstone shot. That one's off a stick in front. We'll get another penalty coming. So cross check. We'll see who takes this one. Looks like it might be Colby Troop. And exactly not what you want to do against the Vitos is spend some time on the man advantage or on the penalty kill, because the Vitos man advantage will make you pay. And we've seen it plenty of times so far this season. So Bellier, Whitaker, and O'Toole with McQuaid and Cormier at the points. Cormier goes back door to Bellier. He circles, or Whitaker, excuse me. He circles back to Cormier to McQuaid, and his shot goes over the net. Now Cormier works in, tries to find a man back door. And now Cormier comes back to collect this one. Drops for Carson O'Toole. Works in, stops, and goes back to the point to Cormier. Cormier to O'Toole. They'll play pitch and catch. Cormier gets a shot and lets it go, and that one's turned aside by Maxwell. Goes back to Cormier. He works in. Doesn't shoot. Goes back to O'Toole. Now McQuaid. His shot over the net, and that'll get back onto the stick of Sam Whitaker. Whitaker works in, drops it back. Now down low to McQuaid. Now Cameron tries to throw it up the wall. This one doesn't get out. The Wildcats back to 5-on-4. No O'Toole, back to the point. Now Cormier. Noah Cormier sends one through, and that one's off the pad of Maxwell. Cormier tries to pinch in. That one's put by him, and it'll go down the ice. Sam Malaya out to play it. Stops it up for Sutter McQuaid. Now working up is Kason Cooling with speed. The league's leading goal scorer scores again. Kason Cooling, coast to coast, and he makes it 3-0 for the Vitos. So we'll work back to center ice. So a line of all U15 Valley Wildcats out here right now. It's Caleb Howard, Austin Robichaud, and Rowan Lonergan. Now working it around the near side. Howard gets a stick on that one. He goes cross ice looking for Lonergan, and Lonergan gets a bump on the near side from Bellier. Or Godin, excuse me. So the face-off will come back down into the Vito zone. They'll get a penalty, and they'll be short-handed. Godin will take that one. Now the face-off one back for the Wildcats. It's McRae who picks it up. Pearson, the recipient of that penalty, not Godin. My apologies on that one. Terrace now giving chase in the corner while Arbo works it down the ice. Now working it up the wall is Jack Terrace. Drops for Pearl. Will go off the blocker, a loose puck in front. And Malia able to cover up for that one. 1:10 to go here on the power play. That one is put down the ice. And now Breen will pick it back up for the Wildcats. Cutler in there trying to make a disturbance. Now work back to the wall. Nickerson. They'll throw it in deep. Cormier stops up, grabs it behind the net, and sends one down the ice one more time. Cutler giving chase. He'll work in shorthanded. Cutler now with possession as Ketty pins him to the wall. 3 Wildcats coming in to get this one, and Cutler still got it. Now working out is Madden Blandon. Gets across the line just onside. And now Blandon will send a hit there onto Whitaker. Or Hearn, my bad. Now Breen picks it up. Goes to Ringette, who sets up behind the net. Gets out to O'Toole and no further. Owen Witter now in the net for the Wildcats. Having to come in place of Jaron Maxwell. Might end up playing 2 games today, Owen Witter, if he plays tonight with the U18s. Now Ringette around the wall. He plays that one up. Kept in by Pearl, and now he'll go back around for Gosling. Or Troop, excuse me. That one's up into the netting. So we'll get a face-off back down in the Wildcat zone. .6:23 to go here, and the top line rolls back over the boards. Bellier, Cooling, and Livingstone. Livingstone corrals, goes back to Grayson Shanks. Now worked up the wall, away goes Livingstone. He's in on a breakaway, and Witter turns him aside. Now Cooling picks it up, he works in. Livingstone in there to help. Tries to grab the loose puck, and it's given away to Bellier. Bellier works it down. Livingstone tried to go backdoor for Cooling, but just out of his reach. Now Livingstone up into the netting, and we'll get a stoppage of play here with 5:44 to go in the first period. A 3-0 lead for the St. John Vitos over the Valley Wildcats here from Berwick. As face-off as one gets back to the line. Arbo unable to keep it in, and now the Wildcats will go back up to center. Lonergan giving chase at the point, but it gets to Arbo. He finds Livingstone. Livingstone works in. That shot turned aside by the pad of Owen Witter. Gets back to the point no further as McQuaid plays it back in. Good pinch by McQuaid again. He'll work in this time looking for a man backdoor. Cooling. Trying to find the option out front. Now Cooling trying to work out, and away goes Caleb Howard. He's got a chance to away a couple of Vitos all over him. And now Robichaud sends a shot wide. And now it's back for Jackson Ringette. He'll stop up. He's got Livingstone saying hello to him all the way around the net. Ringette works it up, and that one's going to be worked offside. At the line, 4:20 to go, 14-4. The shots on net in favor of the Vitos, and they'll carry a 3-0 lead into the rest of this first period. This one gets to Cutler. He'll work in, and the Wildcats go back up the wall. It's sent back in by Pearson. Another drop pass out to Greeley, just out of his reach. McKinnon working in. He'll walk. Nice move by McKinnon. Drops off to Cormier. Back to McKinnon. Max McKinnon. Draft eligible for this upcoming Q draft. And although he's playing U16, you can't look past that. Putting up league-leading numbers. The Q accepting 2010s into the draft this year, so look for that name to make itself appear. Or Cason Cooling, or Trip Livingstone. This Vitos team has got a bunch of stars, and they're making it known this season. McKinnon drops back for Noah Cormier. Cormier stops up. He's got a man on him. That's Breen. He gives it back across to McKinnon, and he'll turn on the Jets. Max McKinnon Lays one up to Cormier, and he'll slam one into the offensive zone. Witter will hold on to that one, and we'll get a wholesale line change either side. And we'll go back down into the Wildcats' end for the face-off. Now a big hit thrown down there in the corner. Nickerson. They've hit down there to Wilson. A couple of feet from the boards in the danger area, but Wilson will stay right out on here for the power play. And the Vitos with another chance at the man advantage here early. Cooling goes back to the point. McKinnon now. Looking for an option. Goes down low to Cooling. And McKinnon quickly to Livingstone down low. Picked up by Cameron Wilson. Cross ice. That one intended for Case and Cooling. It's up into the netting, and we'll get a stoppage of play. Livingstone working back in on the draw here with Nolan Breen. One back to the point for Cooling. That was Peyton Ketty, excuse me, on the draw. Now the shot goes in. Ketty will rim one down the center ice. Now McKinnon looking to gain the zone. Bobbled there at center ice, but picks it back up as he works in down below the net. McKinnon still with possession, goes back to the point. Finds Dagler. Back to McKinnon. Now Cooling, back to McKinnon. Now Cooling trying to find an option. He goes to Livingstone, who drops back for Cooling. Now down low for Wilson. This Vito's power play is all about movement and drawing the players in. But now we'll get some rough stuff in front. A couple of power or penalties coming. Or it might just be one. And it looks like it will just be one, so Alexander Dagl, the only penalty coming out of that, it'll be a head contact call. Only 2 minutes on the board. So 52 seconds left in the penalty to Braden Nickerson, and then the Wildcats will be on the man advantage. But for now, some 4-on-4 as Patrick Gosling picks it up. Down low for Terrace, it's out of his reach. Jack Terrace, the leading scorer for these Valley Wildcats. Worked in, that one turned aside. It's into the glove of Malia, and he'll hold up. Now off the draw. Picked up and sent in by Sutter McQuaid. Gosling first to it, but Pearson's right after it. Now Terrace picks it up. Throws it deep. It's kept in at the line. And now a chance away. And that one just goes wide of the net. Pearson almost had that one labeled to the glove side. Now worked behind the net. Gosling. He's getting worked down there by Jacob Greeley. And now back out to the point. Arbo looking to kill some time on this penalty kill here with the last 40 seconds of the period. Now Breen working it back in. Drops for Nickerson. His shot blockered up into the netting. And Malia stays perfect in this one. He's faced 6. He's turned them all away. Now this face-off is one up the wall, and Cutler's going to race after that one. But Ringette will get there first. Plays it back around the wall. He'll stop up. Picked up by Cohen Pearl. Tried to work around Cutler, but he's got that one covered up, and they'll play it back down into the wall. Or into the corner, excuse me. Now Ringette. Looks to go cross ice. That one's intercepted. Picked up by Shanks. And that'll do it. Here for the first period of play from the Apple Dome, the Valley Wildcats are trailing the St. John Vitos 3-0. Stay tuned here on High Button Sports because we've got more U16 AAA action coming right up after this. Welcome back inside the Kings Mutual Century Center, better known as the Apple Dome here in Berwick, Nova Scotia, for the second period of play between the St. John Vitos and the Valley Wildcats. The Vitos, after a near 4.5-5 hour bus ride from the Harbor City, have shown no signs of fatigue, sparking a 3-0 lead through the first 20 minutes of play. We'll get set for the face-off at center ice. And we're underway here from Berwick for period 2. It's into Wildcats possession, but quickly turned back over. O'Toole will work in, and this one's sent back. McQuaid will try and throw one back for Arbo, but it goes all the way back to the Vito zone. Now O'Toole trying to work up through a couple of bodies. He's tripped up, looking for a call. The referees say no. And now that's going to be blown dead for the whistle. So we'll get the face-off all the way down in the Wildcat zone. Not sure why it comes down to the Wildcat zone. Maybe a forced offside. Now a good play by McKinnon to grab that one with the glove, knowing that hand passes are legal in the defensive zone. Now this one squeaks out to Bellier, and he's turned aside in front by Whittier. Cormier will grab that one and throw it back up the side wall. Now a shot comes in from Bellier, and that one from distance covered up by Whittier with 18:43 to go. Now the top line back out there, cooling Livingstone and Bellier, with Cormier and McKinnon at the points. Worked out for Banks, and Banks will send a bump there into McKinnon. A couple sixes running into each other as Milia plays it up the wall. This one escapes the line and goes right back in. It'll be picked up by Max McKinnon, and a long pass out intended for Trip Livingstone, but Livingstone was tied up with the referee. Now Bellier drops for the captain. Livingstone works in, glove down by Whittier, and he'll hold on for the face-off. 18:05 to go in the second period. So the face-off coming down to the left of Whittier. It's won by the Vitos, and Pearson tries to play one back to the point. It's intercepted there by Ketty. He'll work down and get turned aside as Jaden Etheridge works in, looking for some rough stuff in the corner. Ketty now plays that one back to the point. That escapes Gambin, and he'll reset, throwing it back up to Etheridge, who slams it back in around the wall. Picked up by Tennyson Godin. He'll go up the wall, and that one just gets out of the reach of the Vitos forwards. And now a penalty coming here. Some rough stuff down low. It'll look to be Shanks. Not sure where Grayson Shanks was in all of that, but the referee says he was in the middle of it. So a Wildcats power play. The Wildcats like to go east to west on this power play to set up for a one-timer for Jack Terrace. We'll see if they set up like that as Terrace works in backdoor. The pass for Pearl is out of his reach. And now McCray couldn't handle that one. There was a heater of a pass going across ice. Terrace picks it back up. Got McCray going backdoor. He'll try to squeak one in. And now back through the Wildcat zone it goes. Gambin will come back to corral it. Leaves it there for Pearl. But quickly after that one was Cameron Wilson. Now Ahern plays it back down into the offensive zone. Wilson runs into McCray on the far side. Lots of unhappy Wildcats fans here. Banks collects the loose puck, plays it back to center ice as he bobbles it. Banks will be in the lineup tonight for the U18 Valley Wildcats. Terrace chips it up the wall ahead for Banks. Finds Gambin working in. His shot blocked. And his second try goes over the net and rims around. There goes Cohen Pearl from his own zone, trying to work up the near side. Gambin now sends it cross ice. Picked up by Nickerson, and they'll send it into the offensive zone. Etheridge doesn't like the offensive or the offside call. And this one's sent back down into Wildcats territory. 5 seconds to go here on the penalty to Grayson Shanks. And now Cormier working in first to that puck. And Cutler throws it back out front. Pass ahead for Dag. That one off the heel of his stick. He's going to look for an option as he runs into Braden Nickerson on the near side. And now Nickerson works up, sends one deep. And now a battle behind the net. It's picked up by Whitaker. And now Dag will pick up the loose puck. He's got speed up the near side. Dag working in was Nickerson. He wanted a piece of him. And now a pad save from Millia on the backhand. This one's worked around. Gosling, the big defenseman, has to get back. He's up into the play. McKinnon now will reset for the Vitos. A long stretch pass up intended for Daglitz onto the stick of Witter, and he'll play it back behind the net, but Dag first to it. Now O'Toole, he's going to be met there by a couple of Wildcats. Doesn't even have the puck. Now worked back around by Whitaker. And the shot from Godin is blocked. Shanks will have to make a move there. He gets bumped. And now out front to Breen. It's turned aside and back to center. Go the Vitos. Now Dag working in. That one's turned aside by Witter, and an early whistle will help out the Wildcats goaltender. Not a very big crowd here on the Vito's side of the rink, as most of the parents not making the trip over this weekend, deciding not to pack the bus. So we say welcome in to everyone in the Harbor City cheering on the Vitos from home as they start up from their offensive zone or their defensive zone. Chance on the rebound. That one's turned aside. Livingstone was racing in, and Witter took that shot. He's got to take the glove off. Might have been a stinger in close from Livingstone. .13:04 to go. Shots now 21-7 in favor of the Vitos. We know the Vitos love to throw rubber on net. Not rare for them to get 50 plus in a game. As the U15 line rolls back over the boards for the Wildcats, Howard, Lonergan, and Robichaux. Now Cooling trying to work this one out. He's got a couple of guys all over him. And what a line matchup by the home team, sending the APs out there against St. John's top line. And here they go. Caleb Howard working in, tries to hit Lonergan, but it's out of his reach. Howard sends Livingstone into the boards. Now back for Austin Robichaux. He takes a bump there from Cooling. Now Howard trying to work out with it. Chipped ahead. Bellier. He'll send a bump in. And now Livingstone in the corner. He's on it. Plays it in front. Bellier just mishandled that one, but at the point goes McKinnon. Backhands one past Howard, but Howard staying right with him. This one's chipped ahead. It's worked into Vito's territory. Malia saying hold up. And now McKinnon will lift one cross ice, intended for Cooling, but he couldn't handle that one. It's up to Blandon, who sends it in. Up the wall, now Stoddard grabs it. He plays one in off the skates of Cooling. And he goes ahead for Livingstone, who's got a break. Trip Livingstone, turned aside by Witter. That's 2 breakaways this afternoon for Livingstone, and Witter's had the better of both of them. Now working back out. Chipped ahead. Now a chance for McKinnon working in. The defenseman goes back door. They score! Is it? Yes, it is. Noah Cormier, the defenseman, leading the rush for the Wildcats. McKinnon to Cormier, and the 2 D-men lead the rush. It's 4-0. Noah Cormier picking up that goal. I'd like to say hello if Noah Cormier's grandparents are listening in from the Harbor City. They're always sitting right next to the booth over in St. John. Always nice to talk to them. Always nice to go over to St. John and feel the hospitality. This one's worked in. Back to the point. McKinnon's got it. He'll walk in. Blocker save. And that one's over the net. Just kept out. Now McKinnon fires one back on. Kept out again. So the official goal call there. Cormier from McQuaid and McKinnon. I think it might have been McKinnon and McQuaid, but either way, the Vitos with all 3 defensemen picking up points on that last rush up the ice. Back to the point, Gaudin sends one into the zone, and now it gets away. Breen's got a chance out. He can't get to that one before Tennyson Gaudin. They'll get tied up down in the corner. It's picked up by Greeley. He goes up, a long pass intended there for Pearson, but it's out of his reach, and Whittier will have to come out and stop it. Pearson blew an edge behind the Wildcats net. This one will get sent back out to center for Tennyson Gaudin. Goes across to Grayson Shanks. Picked up now by Ahern and back to Shanks. They'll go off a shin pad. Shanks will get the return feed and a high floater out to center, out of the reach of Cutler, but they'll stay on the chase. Now Gambit picks it up at the point, tried to walk in and fire one home. Couldn't get one to go. Now Neckerson fires one off a skate. Picked up by Ketty. He'll send it back down into the corner. Now a chance in front. This one's turned aside. Etheridge wanted to shovel a backhander on net, and it's just off the stick of Malia and over. Now this one gets to the point. It's kept in one more time. Howard's got a shot, and that one's off the bar. What a shot from Caleb Howard. Just stayed out. Bar down on the line. And Caleb Howard, the affiliate, with the best chance of the afternoon here for the Wildcats. Howard evades the check. Chance up for Rowan Lonergan. Kept in at the line by Cameron. He sends a shot in. That one's around the net. Robichaud, he's on it. He sends it down low for Lonergan. Tried to make a move. That one's off the wall. Howard had that one go through his legs, and now Daggle away. Alexander Dagg working in. Goes back down low, and this one's up the wall through center ice. And that'll go for the icing. So Caleb Howard that close to getting the Wildcats on the board, just a matter of inches. Given Howard praise all season long during the U15 games. It's about time he gets some during a U16 game, just so close to going in. Caleb Howard, one of the most consistent U15 Wildcats. Now Cameron trying to lay a bump down there into O'Toole, but O'Toole, the big body, not budging. Now he picks it back up on the near side. Referee in the way. No. Howard trying to play that one around, but it's played back into the zone. A chance out front. A save by Witter, point blank. The Vitos with lots of offensive zone time. McQuaid gonna bump in here off the half wall and play that one down low. Now it's circled back, out around the slot. Shot is blocked in front. The backhander turned aside by Witter. Now Wilson plays one up the wall. Howard was racing away, but now back in they go. It's just worked in offside, and that one will bring the face-off back outside the Wildcat zone. 6:23 to go here in the second period. A 4-0 game with the Vitos in the lead. The Vitos' latest coming from the man at the right point right now, Noah Cormier. Cormier drops a stick. You heard well, you might not have on the broadcast, but Cormier let out a big gasp. Now it's worked in, and they score. Livingstone trying to work in. Bellier puts the rebound in back door. The referees will convene at center ice. They'll talk this one over. The Vitos have lined up at center ice, but the referees wave this one off. And we'll get a face-off back down inside the Wildcats' end. Bellier shaking his head. Could have had himself a goal there, and the referees took it away. So out to center we go for the face-off. And top line staying out there for the Vitos, Cooling, Livingstone, and Bellier. As Livingstone works in. This one goes into the corner. Bellier's got to chase after Terrace. Now Livingstone's got it. Works out. That one spun quickly off the short side by Livingstone. And now put back down in the corner. Bellier's got it down low. He works it back up the wall. Cooling plays this one into no man's land, and it'll go all the way back out to neutral ice. Cooling gets a return feed. Hits Livingstone, and he'll work in. Trip Livingstone. It's taken down on the far side. No call on the play. And now Cormier working in backdoor. Livingstone looking at the rebound. Landed right in front of him. Could have put it home. Now Cormier and Terrace saying hello in the corner as Cormier looking for some rough stuff down there. So Luke Bellier will head off. A head contact call. Livingstone and the referees will convene at center ice. They'll talk this one over. So 4-0 game. A penalty coming to the Vitos. Luke Bellier in the box for 2 or less. 29-7, the shots on goal in this one, as the referees will head to the bench and explain the calls to the coaches. And we'll get back for the face-off. This one's won ahead, and Greeley will poke it up. Cutler's got a chance away, and he'll work in on the breakaway. Alex Cutler to the backhand, and that one's just wide of the net.
Vito penalty number 13, Luke Bellier. 2 minutes right contact.
Now Breen working up through center. Drops for Nickerson. Nickerson sends a pass out to Stoddard. Shot goes in. That's turned aside by Milia. The rebound lays there and can't get by the Vito's goaltender. Cutler will reach in. Can't get a hold of that loose puck. Now Shanks down low will work in. Sends a bump down there to Nolan Breen. Now Shanks up the wall. Gosling able to keep it in. Plays it back down low for Nickerson. Now Stoddard sends a shot through. That one's wide. Into a couple of bodies. Now back down low. Nickerson trying to work it out front. That one's onto the netting. And now cross ice. Back to the point. Patrick Gosling sends one back down low, intended for Breen. It's out of his reach. Now Nickerson goes back down low for Breen. Spun out front. That one's taken away. Shanks will play one up the wall, but it's taken away quickly and put back behind the net. Now out front, it's spun and scored. Jaden Etheridge gets the Wildcats on the board here at home on the power play. And that makes it 4-1. So the face-off is won by the Vitos. It's played up into neutral ice. A 3-goal game now, thanks to that latest from Jaden Etheridge. Played against Jaden's brother, Jordan, my whole career growing up. Good rivalry there between the Acadia Axemen and the Western Valley Spartans. And then the Central Kings Gators and the West Kings Wolverines. And now the younger Etheridge brother has the Wildcats on the board as they work into the offensive zone. Terrace comes in to intercept that one, but it's worked back down by Shauna Ahern. Ahern now puts the moves on down in the offensive zone. It's picked up, sent to the net. A quick shot is turned aside. Now Whitaker's on it. He plays it back down into the corner. Terrace will pick it up. Terrace goes up the wall. Couldn't get it out as McQuaid held it in. Now this one's played around the wall. Kept in by McQuaid, and now Terrace will pick it back up. Looks to the near side. And that one, the linesman will say, was tipped. So no icing on the call. Back behind the net, the Wildcats pick it up. Pearl down low. Now the shot from Cameron goes in. Malia will glove it up. And with 1:29 to go, the Vitos will get a face-off in the defensive zone. Now Banks trying to work one out to center. That one's taken away. Gambin tried to find a man. Now Dag working in on the near side. Throws one in front, and it's bobbled into the corner. Carson O'Toole.
Last minute of play in the second period, last minute of play.
The final 60 here in the second period as a battle down in the near side corner ensues. Cameron and Dag saying hello to each other. Ketty unable to get this one out. He does. And now McKinnon trying to shield off that puck. Now a chance in front. That one goes off the glove of Malia. Breen was working in, had himself a great opportunity to cut the lead to 2. And now this one gets back to the point. Cameron in for Banks. Banks down low for Breen, and that one's turned aside by Malia as well. It's a bobbled puck in front, and the puck's sitting there. It's a dog pile. This one's cleared back out front, and O'Toole will lift a high riser out to the rafters, and that'll get blown down. One second to go here in this final frame. Or the middle frame, rather. So that'll do it through 40 minutes of play here on High Button Sports. The St. John Vitos lead the Valley Wildcats 4-1. The latest goal for the Wildcats coming from number 15, Jaden Etheridge. Stay tuned. We've got lots more U16 AAA hockey action coming up on High Button Sports. We'll be back right after that. Welcome into the Apple Dome for the final period of play between the visiting St. John Vitos and the Valley Wildcats. One last stop here before the Vitos will take the bus down the highway to Bedford tomorrow and take on the Basin Armada at the BMO Center at 11:45, while the Wildcats will welcome the Eastern Dukes to the Apple Dome tomorrow. The boys from PEI taking a swing over to the Ocean Playground, and they'll finish up with a matchup with the Wildcats tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Catch them all right here on High Button Sports. We've also got some more action at the Maritime Major Girls Hockey League Winter Showcase in Fredericton. Theo Iatru, Daryl Johnstone, and Logan Carruthers on the call over there. But for now, it's back to Berwick. It's a 4-1 game and the start of the third period. The Vitos lead, and we're underway. This one's one off the draw. Cameron will play it around the wall. Little puck battle at the blue line right in front of the Wildcats bench. Cooling and Bellier both in there. Oh, that was Cormier, excuse me. Now Cameron grabs it back behind the net. He gets bumped by Luke Bellier. Back to McKinnon. He goes down into the corner. Now it's played out front. Nickerson will go to the far side. Picked up by McKinnon up the wall, and Livingstone will hammer it in. He takes a bump, but Gambin taking the worst of it. Now it's played around the wall. Gambin will pick it up. Tried to hit a man at center, but this one's out of the reach. And back to get it is Max McKinnon. McKinnon leads the league in points by defenseman with 18. 6 goals, 12 assists. And the Quispamsis product is showing up very well in his first year with the St. John Vitos U16 club. Alexander Daigle will work it on the draw with Jack Terrace. Dag wins that one back. And on the near side it goes. Ringette, though, will play one down into the Wildcats end. Malia out to play it. Leaves it there for Godin, who goes across to Arbo. Arbo lets it go, and Wilson will jam it further up the wall. Dag working in. He's got a man back door, but that one's gloved up by Witter. And he'll hold on. Like I said, Owen Witter in net tonight. Backing up either Aaron Meaden or Maddox Newman for the Wildcats. Now this one's back to center ice in Vito's possession. They'll dump it down around. Long dump in from Carson O'Toole. He's either got a new stick or a new tape job for the third period, electing to switch away from the black tape. Now O'Toole has that one slip by him on the far side. It's going to be picked up by Troop down in the corner. Now Wilson looking to spin off a check and find an open man in front. This one gets out front to Pearson, but he fans on the shot. And this one's sent all the way around the net and around the boards down 200 feet. That'll be an icing call. And we'll go back down to the Vito's end. Or the Wildcats end, excuse me. Austin Robichaud, the U15 Valley Wildcat, out here to take the face-off. Fresh off a 6-3 win over the Rangers Hockey Club. They've split the U15s up off the line that was doing pretty well. Caleb Howard, Rowan Lonergan, and Austin Robichaud holding their own up here in the U16 league against the top dogs nonetheless. Now Robichaud, he takes a bump. That was up high. That one will go uncalled. Robichaud heads back to the bench, and the face-off will come right outside the Vito's line. The Vitos can jump to a 3-point lead over the Eastern Dukes, depending on the outcome of this game and the Dukes game. Vito's sitting at 33 points right now, and the Dukes at 32. Just a short margin. Now McKinnon picks it back up. The 2010-born defenseman will work into the offensive zone, but just offside. Max McKinnon sporting a chrome cage. Those are hard to come by these days. McKinnon, Bellier, and Whitaker all with the chrome cage. Must be a St. John thing only. Can't find them anywhere around here these days. Ahern will work in on the draw with Breen, and Breen will win that one back, but it's out to center ice and picked up by Noah Cormier. He's got a goal in this one. He'll work it in, and Stoddard picks it up. Up the wall, picked up by McRae. McRae chips one ahead. This one's up for Caleb Howard. Howard on the back door. McRae just put that one wide. Remember back to the second period when Caleb Howard put one off the bar and was inches from going in. Bar down, just not into the net. As we get a penalty called here, it'll be Sam Whitaker going off for the hold. So the Vitos will be shorthanded. Now back to the point. Gambin to Banks in front. That one squeaks past everyone, and it'll be played down the ice. And Witter out to play it. This one picked up by the skipper. Thomas Gambin plays it ahead to Braden Nickerson, but it's slapped right back down the ice by Noah Cormier. This pass out of the reach of Nickerson, but he's going to get first to it. Now he's in the corner. Cormier on the chase with him, but Nickerson able to keep possession. Plays it back down the wall. Etheridge will play one back out front. Nickerson had a chance. Now another penalty coming for the Vitos. Wildcats bench finally calling for Witter to come, and this one will be touched up by a falling Taylor Pearson. And that'll be a 5-on-3 for the Vitos to have to kill off for at least a minute until Sam Whitaker is out of the box. So a timeout coming. We'll be right back. Back down into the Vito zone we go. A 5-on-3 power play for the Valley Wildcats for the next 59 seconds until Sam Whitaker out of the box. But now it's Max McKinnon going to lift one down the ice. And that one's picked up Whitter behind the net. Working that one down to McRae was Gosling. And now McRae picks it up behind the net. Gosling in front. The big man, usually at the point, will try to use himself as a screen here and get in front of Sam Malia. Now Terrace. The Wildcats trying to go east to west and find Terrace with a one-timer. Now McRae works it back around the wall. He'll pick it up. Circle back, drop for Zach Banks, but it's out of his reach. Banks trying to go around the ice. And now this one's back out for McRae. Whitaker joining the rush here, fresh out of the box. There's McKinnon with it. He'll send one in front. They score. Well, I think this is as quiet as a building will ever be after a Vito's goal. So a shorthanded marker for the Vitos puts them up 5-1 as the Wildcats look to get something going here on the power play. That shot goes over the net. It's turned aside. Etheridge working back in. So Wilson from Whitaker and McKinnon. The official goal call is Alex Cutler tried to make a little move between the legs. That one turned aside. Now working up the near side is Cohen Pearl, but that one's stripped by Ahern and sent back down the ice. Whitter out to play it. They'll leave it there for Jackson Ringette. Wholesale change coming for the Vitos. Cutler still out there as the top line rolls out with Livingstone and Cooling. Cutler tried to send a body in there to Blandon. Now Cooling will rim this one down into the offensive zone. He gets it back at the top of the saw. The rebound turned aside by Whitter. Bellier was jamming home on the back door. Got a little cross check in the back. Little stinger, and Cooling can't put the rebound home. Or that was Godin, excuse me. Cooling on the near side. Back to Godin. Pass into Livingstone, he'll work in, rip one. That one's wide of the net, and it'll circle all the way around. Livingstone makes a move, and that's a pretty one. Case and Cooling now trying to gain possession. Back down in the corner for Livingstone. Now Cooling. Looking to walk out, makes a move, spins, fires, and scores. Second of the day for Case and Cooling. second goal to the 5-hole. That might be his new spot. Case and goalie makes it 6-1. Now a hit down low. Wilson taking a bump from Cameron. Now a battle behind the net. This one gets chipped out. Gambin looking to make a play with that. He leaves it there for Cameron. And Caleb Howard now will take some time and play it back around the wall. This one's ahead for McRae, and he'll go back up the ice. No icing is the call as McKinnon touched that one. That'll go up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off. Now the Vitos got a penalty off. That play really came out of nowhere. We'll be out here with 4 shorthanded, and the Wildcats back out to the man advantage. Alexander Dagla in the box. Now Terrace works in, glove down by Milia, and he'll hold on for the whistle. Folks, at 7 o'clock here on High Button Sports, the March and Milko Hunters roll into town to take on the U18 Valley Wildcats. Catch it all here on High Button Sports. Shauna Hearn walks in, rips it down. Stoddard gets a puck on that one, rips it up into the Vito's bench. And that'll bring the face-off all the way back down into neutral ice. So that was the official penalty call. I was wondering why they had 30 up on the board, but Dagl was in the box. Dagl is serving the penalty for Malia. A delay of game penalty by the Vito's goaltender. Not something you see every day. Vito's looking to keep this one right where it is, while the Wildcats looking to get another one on the board. Banks try to work it to the slot area. That one's turned aside and sent back down the ice. Ringette picks it up and sends a headman pass up for Blandon, but that one's taken away and sent back down the ice. Cutler gets a stick on that. Ringette will pick it up. Jackson Ringette gets the blue line. They'll stop up, send one towards the net. It gets back to the point, and Robichaud goes down low. Stopping up is Jacob Greeley. He sends one down the ice, and that'll be an icing call. .7:48 left to go here in this Final frame, a 6-1 lead. Picked up on the near side, back to the point. Kenny will send a shot through. That one's turned aside, and Malia covers up. We'll switch sides for the draw and get ready to go. Vito's get possession off the draw. It's played up the wall. Livingstone had that one chipped ahead of him. Now Nickerson looking for a pass option for the Wildcats to start the breakout. A long pass up from Gambin. Now Etheridge goes back. And now the Wildcats, looking to get an offensive rush started here. Nickerson fed one back into the slot, but it's out for Tripp Livingstone, and he's got a break. He's got a man with him. Livingstone works in, and that's turned aside by the blocker of Owen Witter one more time. So 3 breakaways for Livingstone, and 3 of them shut down by Owen Witter. McKinnon now working into the offensive zone. He was tangled up there with Josh Cameron. And now Gosling will send a bump there into a Hearn as the whistle goes. So 6:07 to go here in the final frame. And a face-off coming to the Wildcats zone to the left of Owen Witter. Now Arbo, his shot blocked, he's going to work in. That one's played to the side, and now a chance ahead for McCray. He was working in, he had a one man to beat. That was a Hearn. But this is played back into Vito's possession. Pearson now to the far side. Whitaker had this one poked off his stick. A Hearn now will play it ahead. McQuaid plays one in. This one's turned aside. Witter wasn't sure where it is. Might have been in his gear somewhere. And now McCray picks it up. Out to Howard. Howard chipped that one a little bit further, but not out. And it's turned aside by the shot from McQuaid. And Witter will hold on. And now this shot turned aside by Witter right off the draw. Go down with a long, hard snapper into the breadbasket of Owen Witter. We'll redo that draw. This one sent off the glass and out for Grayson Shanks, but Terrace able to corral it and send a shot onto Malia. And he'll hold on. Face off won by the Vitos. They're in their own zone trying to play one out. That one might have went off the coach there. We'll turn away. We'll go back to center ice. Looks like the coach will be all good, but a hard shot, I believe, from Daigle on the clearing attempt. Looks like it hit the coach right on the back of the head or the head area. That was scary. After last night in East Hants, we had a linesman take a puck to the face. He was leaking instantly, blood all over the ice, and just wouldn't want to see that twice in 2 days. Especially to someone that isn't even directly on the ice. But it looks to be all good for the coach. He's going to give the head a little rub, and no worse for wear. Now Dag working up. He's going to try and spring himself past Witter, and that one's just wide. Witter got the poke check out. And maybe got the last piece of that one as Wilson spins down low. Down low in the corner. A battle with a plethora of bodies in there. Finally worked out for Blandon, and Godin's got to beat him to it. Now played aside, Blandon able to knock it off the stick of Godin, and back around for Grayson Shanks. Shanks up the wall. Out to Carson O'Toole. O'Toole has a man backdoor. That's Dagley. Slides it home. Alexander Dagley gets his second of the game. And the Vitos lead 7-1. Back to center ice, and referee telling the forwards on the near side to move back a little bit before he drops it. He finally does, and Gambin will play this one into the offensive zone. Etheridge coming in with Cormier. Now played back up the wall into Alex Cutler's possession. Neckerson goes up around for Etheridge. High stick there negated by the touch of Peyton Ketty. Now played around the wall. Vito's can't get it out. It's kept in at the line by Cameron. And he'll work in, looking for an offensive opportunity. He's taken down, and a power play coming here for the Wildcats as Jacob Greeley makes his way into the box. A 4-minute penalty to Greeley to end this one off. So the Vitos will be shorthanded for the rest of this game, unless the Wildcats are able to score two. Now the face-off one. Back across for Gosling. He plays it up. Chipped ahead from McRae, but it's out of his reach. And now Ahern trying to swipe one forward. Back for Gosling. He goes up on the near side. Caleb Howard sends a shot through. He had that one earlier. That went bar down and just stayed out. Would have been nice for Howard to pot one here. McQuaid pokes one back up the wall. Howard will get bumped down there by Jake Garbo. Howard now out front. Turned aside, and this one will be covered up by Malia. So face-off coming back down to the right of Sam Malia. 1:48 to go here in this U16 AAA Saturday matchup. It's one back to the point. The Wildcats able to keep it in, and Gambin collects, goes back door, and Nickerson's shot was just turned aside. Now Nickerson tried to send a man back door, didn't go, and now Gambin tried to work in. It's a penalty coming. And a hook. This one coming to Alex Cutler. So the Vito is putting their penalty killing unit to work here in the final stages. As Sam Malia has to be careful off that draw. He's able to cover up, kick save, and a beauty, so they say. And that one will keep it out. Nickerson on the draw. He wins that one forward. Etheridge was looking to slide one through the 5-hole like he did earlier. Gambin now looks for an option. Goes to Ketty, back down low. A one-timer from Banks. Didn't go, and now a chance out front. Etheridge looking to bang it home once more, and that one's wide of the net. Back into the corner. Banks. Shot goes off the glass into the netting. And with 60 seconds to go, we'll get a whistle back down in the Vito zone. Face off one and sent back around the wall by the Vitos, but it's kept in by Pearl. Pearl gets the return feed. He'll send a shot on. That one's blocked in front by Cormier. Cormier spins, blows a tire. That's backdoor and a save by Malia. A beauty. Now back to the point. Ketty working in. Pearl shot blocked in front. And now he tries to feed Peyton Ketty, and that one's out of his reach. Back up across for Banks. Tries to work that one in. He works it offside. And with 18 to go, we'll get a face-off right outside the Vito zone. Pearl now will circle down low. Picks it up between the legs. They'll fire one back. Stoddard's shot goes off the glass. And that'll do it. Here from the Apple Dome in Berwick, the St. John Vitos take care of the Valley Wildcats by a score of 7-1. Here on High Button Sports. My name's Dayton Camo, saying thank you for tuning in, but also stay tuned, because in 2 hours time from now, the Valley Wildcats U18 club will welcome in the March and Milco Hunters for a Saturday night matchup in the Nova Scotia U18 Major Hockey League. Dayton Camo once again saying thank you for High Button Sports. We'll see you next time.